It's Dev Demetries, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard.
It's just how it is when you murder the streets. Her body with you, but the mind with me. You wanna lead and find a tree, now I'm back on the street, she finding me.
Alright, we got Dev Demetries jumping off the porch with us today.
What it do, what it do? How you up, bro? You alright?
I'm good, gang. How you feeling?
Man, I'm blessed, bro. Blessed,
For sure.
Can't complain, ain't gonna complain.
Oh, that's real. It's a pleasure to have you on the porch with us today.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all for having me.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to be in the city of Atlanta?
Nah, man, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. I love how they treat people, you know what I'm saying? I love to see blacks stick together, congregate, you know, get to the bag.
That's real.
Yeah.
Would you say your perceptions of the South changed once you seen that blacks sticking together and coming together?
Yeah, it really changed, because where I come from, you know, it's a dog-eat-dog world.
It's different up there.
It's real different in the Midwest, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't finna see too many ones that's just gonna be out, you know what I'm saying, open, and gonna try to speak to you just for anything. Like, they see you, they like, hey, what up? They ain't doing that back home. Back home, they gonna either mug, gonna try to figure out something or something. That's what it is, but it changed my perception for real.
That's real.
Yeah.
So how would you explain the way of life, the culture, and the people of Indianapolis?
Man, it's a treacherous place, you know, but it's a nice place too, you know what I'm saying? It's a family, close-knit. If you rock with yours, that's who you rocking with. You know, get to the money, you know, but it's dangerous though, if that makes sense. But, you know, above all, nice place.
Why do you feel people have different perception of Indianapolis?
Probably cause ain't no big rappers, you know? They paint, see the rappers, they gonna paint the picture of where they come from. You know, you might know it's for the Indy 500, Pacers, the Colts, things like that, but you don't really know the culture of the street. You don't really know that because you ain't really looking for no rappers that come from this place. Ain't nothing blue for real. So that's probably why, in a nutshell.
How would you explain the streets of Indianapolis?
Man, they rough, they tough. You know, like, half the time this killer get killed. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might find yourself in a situation you ain't had nothing to do with, but you got to ride though, just because your guy going, you know? But it's rough, man. It's a backdoor type city. Gotta be careful. Long story short.
When would you say you realize the streets can get ugly in Indianapolis?
Man, I've been realizing that since I was born. I was born into a real hectic family. So, you know, probably 10, 11, I started seeing family members die, things like that. I knew it was real from Jump Street, though. You know what I mean?
At what point would you say you yourself jumped off the porch?
Myself. And I started fighting cases at an early age. Man, I had a real tough situation that I went through. To a lot of folks, it'd probably be tough. Really, to anybody, it'd be tough for real. I ain't gonna hold you. To know that you probably never go home again, that shake everybody up, you know? So I was probably early 20s. Yeah, I had a attempted murder case. So that was probably really the first time I started seeing that the streets really is what it is. I got a situation to where, I mean, I can speak about this now because I went to trial about it. You know, I got found not guilty and whatnot. But, you know, ones play a dirty game. You know, they play that image like they in the street. Whole time they get something done to them, they gonna run to the cops. So that's when I found out the streets was real complex. I thought that everybody was on the Wild Wild West type time. But it ain't like that. You got the ones who gonna really tuck their tail and press that button and call them people. So, you know, that was my first encounter where I really figured out a lot of the layers of the streets.
That's real. Can you detail what happened exactly with the case and the situation?
Without saying a whole lot, one get hit up, you know, one get shot up, and he told the folks what happened. They picked me up, Sat like 13 months, went to trial, found not guilty, came home, got blessed.
That's amazing.
Yeah, nah, it was amazing. It was amazing, man. It's a complex story, man. But you know, without saying a lot, I ain't really with opening up to the world like that.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it was a blessing, bro, because you don't get chances like that to go home, you know. Especially when you feel like you ain't wrong for doing what was going on. You know, if that makes sense.
Would you ever think in a million years that you would be fighting an attempted murder charge after being one of the star athletes at Indiana University?
Hell no. Not in a million years. I ain't never thought I was gonna go to jail. But my whole life I was growing up. I come up in a family like this. But at the same time, you know, I got dreams and aspirations. I want to play ball. You know, but at the same time, you got this shit that's going on around you. But me personally, hell no, I never thought I was gonna go to jail, sit, none of that shit. Not in a million years. You couldn't have paid me to believe that.
Thanks. So how would you describe your childhood coming up exactly?
Man, single parent household. You know, my mom, she raised us. You know, I got a lot of brothers and sisters. My pops got like 10 kids. So we don't really do the step sibling, all that old shit. These my brothers and sisters. But my mom, she raised us though, you know. Pops went to the feds, I was like 9, 10 years old. Mom's held it down. You know, my oldest brother, he was the head of the household, you know. He really gave up all his little dreams of being a man and, you know, hit the streets running and took care of us. But that's what it was though, you know what I mean? The older brother that was older than you, he was the one that raised you. So the one that, you know what I mean, you know how it go. Yeah, so the one that was over me, he was a hell raiser, you know what I mean? That's what he was, you know what I'm saying? That was his thing, he was a cowboy. You know what I'm saying? He died in like 2014 though, God rest my man's soul. But you know, it was good though, it was cool, you know. We took care of each other, you know what I mean? It wasn't really no bullshit going on. We one of them families that stick together, so.
That's real.
Yeah.
So how did all those people react once the bullshit approached them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my brothers, they a lot of them, they head first, you know, and then, but like when a lot of the shit started cracking off, it was like, damn, this shit crazy. How it's happening? Like, nah, we don't want him to go this route. We don't want this to happen to him because we done seen it happen to so many of us. So it was like a shell shock at the same time, but here's what it is.
That's some bullshit for real.
Yeah.
I feel you. At what point would you say you decided to start taking your craft and your passion for basketball serious?
Man, I took ball serious at an early age. Probably like 9, 10. Like 9, 10. I ended up starting to do well. Started getting a couple offers, things like that. Ended up going to a different school, didn't like it. I always kept going back home, getting in trouble. End up going to another school, get in trouble again, go to another school. My brother come down. I got the little guys with me. They get in trouble. So now it's like I got this friction with me and the coach, cause I'm with my people. And you know, he got a university and a job to do, which I understood. I just ain't like how he was carrying it, if that makes sense. But yeah, my brother ended up getting in trouble, man, and shit, from then on out, it was really like everything else kind of went downhill.
So being that you were a kid from the streets in this professional establishment,
Yeah.
how hard was it for you to adjust? And you know what I'm saying, you button heads with coaches and you probably button heads with athletes and everything because they don't understand where you come from.
Yeah.
So how hard was that for you to adjust and maintain?
It was tough, bro. It was stressful because every day I went to practice, I used to hear the hood jokes and, you know what I'm saying, things like that. They used to add, and I didn't dress like them. You know what I mean? They wore sweatsuits, shorts, shit like that all the time. I probably had on a Dickie fit or some shit like that, not for real. So, you know, they asking me them types of questions and things and whatnot, like, man, where the video at today? Where the rap video at today? I'm looking at coach like, what you mean with a rap video at the day? Nigga, I'm going to lace up. That shit was weird to me. You know, like, and they used to fuck with me. Like, niggas on the team used to tell on me. Like, man, them boys treated me different, man, but it was one that stood out to me. That's my guy, though. Yeah, he rocked with me heavy. They used to tell him to stay away from me. The shit that went on inside of the crowds that I wasn't in, I ain't never seen nothing like it. You know what I mean? At that point in time, like now that I done grew older, I'm well versed with a lot of shit, but like back then I ain't seen no grown-ups playing with kids' lives like that. I had a chance to change my family life, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you got motherfuckers behind the curtains playing puppet master and shit, so. But it ended up all right, you know what I'm saying? It was a life experience, for real.
How important was it for you to finish?
It was real important because, you know, my mama, that's my everything. And she asked me to make it happen for her. So I did, you know what I mean? It was really for her.
That's real.
Yeah.
So fast forward back a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Now we fighting this attempted murder charge.
Right.
You fighting for your life. You luckily, by the grace of God, beat the situation.
By the grace of God.
But now it's different stories of your situation.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make you feel to know that people can just formulate different stories about something you really went through and only 2 people really know the truth? 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, God, him, and me. But I can't say how I feel about the situation because granted I had to go through it, but I wish I never did because I was raised on the code of if somebody did something to me, I ain't gonna involve nobody else. If I can't handle it, I'm gonna just let it be. But if I can handle it, I'm gonna try to handle it myself. I ain't finna go pit the folks in our business. I needed to see that. I needed to learn that. You know what I mean? I needed to learn that there's different types of men out here. Like it's one to tell you he a stand-up individual, but whole time his backbone crooked. So it was cool, you know. I don't regret nothing in life, for real. Like, cause if a motherfucker can learn something from what I went through, that was the objective. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta always have the ups. It's been down, down, down for real for me. I had ups and downs, but it's been down, 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 up, down, down, down. But at the same time, like shit, motherfucker learn something from it, I'm cool with that. Cause I fuck with the community, I fuck with the people. I wanna see motherfucker win.
That's real.
Yeah.
So what was your mentality once you returned home?
When I got home, I ain't gonna lie, I was an animal. You know, when you inside, you figure out who for you. And shit, I felt like a lot of motherfuckers ain't stand on what they were supposed to stand on. So I had a chip on my shoulder. You know, nigga needed to calm down for real. Shit was crazy. Some unnatural shit, you know, being bitter and mad at the world type shit. Yeah, another life experience.
When would you say you started making music?
I've been making music since I was since before school, like 18, 19. My brother had a studio. I'm watching him invest in other people. Got a whole studio built. I'm seeing the rappers come through, they doing their thing. One day, wasn't nobody in there. I went in that bitch, tried my hand. Let one of the guys hear, they were like, man, you need to do that. I'm like, yeah. Ever since then, it was on.
2 on.
Yeah.
Goddamn. So talk about working with the likes of Kevin Gates, Lil Durk, Scarface. You know, it's a long list. How did you even form a relationship to get in contact with these type of people that people, you know, risk their lives and their everything, they whole morals and principles trying to talk to these people?
Man, networking and relationships is everything in this world. And I was just so happy to be in the street, little money, couple guys with a couple phone numbers. You know what I mean? So like, and then I'm real selective on who I deal with. Like if they ain't really one of the good men, like I ain't really trying to fuck with you. And I got blessed on being able to deal with Scarface, a legend, Bun B, a legend, Durk, you know what he's doing right now, he one of the greats. Gates, gonna go down as one of the best. You know what I'm saying? So had I'm made up. My DNA, like, it worked out good. Like, I know I got a great judge of character. Being able to get in the likes and the mix with them. You know what I mean? But
What was the reaction from the people once you were putting these type of records out?
oh yeah, they loved it though. They loved it because back then when I had them, I was getting them records. They was big, but they wasn't as big as they might be right now. And where we come from, the guys don't work with people like that. You know what I mean? So it was something new. It was like I was creating a culture. You know what I mean? For one place. Like, 'cause where I'm from, it's the slums, like, and that's it. Like, we on some local shit, like, niggas ain't really trying to rub elbows with the greats and all that, or even spend their money to rub elbows with the guys that's on. So, you know, it was dope.
That's real. Talking about being one of the first artists to sell out a show in Naptown.
Yeah, that was big, man. That was big. Fresh out. That was huge. Like, I still get emotional now just thinking about that shit, cause it fucked me up how it even happened. I ain't thinking that them folks was gonna show up and show out like that. And just thinking back on it, it's one of them situations to where when you so relatable to the people, they don't got nothing other to do but love you or fuck with you, you know? So that's how I won in that category. Anything I'm talking about, like, half the time, shit, a motherfucker can be like, I remember that, or I know what he talking about. So just to see them folks popped out like how they did, it kind of showed the city like this shit can be done. You know what I mean? It's an eye-opener.
That's real.
Yeah.
How much of a setback would you say it was for you once you had to go to the feds?
You want to know? Like, it was a setback because I had heavy motion before I fell. It was a setback, but at the same time, I got saved by the grace of God. Though, like with the pandemic, you know, the rap game kind of was on a standstill for 2 years, so I kind of won in that category. But in the same time, in a sense, it was a blessing too, cause now, like, going to the feds, it's a networking system. Now I know so many people from around the world. Now I can slide at A-Town and I'm all right. I can rub elbows with the ones I need to. And that motherfucker really was like a tour for me, you know, getting to meet the guys from around the world. So I can't say it was all a setback, you know, like part of it was I lost time from my family, shit like that. You know what I mean? I lost a lot of loved ones. My kids grew up without me, you know. That part hurt me the most, but other than that, it was all right. Can't say I'd do it again, though.
What would you say is your biggest takeaway?
My biggest take from the feds? Never burning bridges, bro. Especially the ones that you can't get back across. And then on top of that, if you can't rebuild that bridge, like, people is what run the world. It ain't really the money, it's the network that you do. You know what I'm saying? It's the systems that these folks got. I took that from coming from, like, never wanting to deal with people, never thinking I needed people. That was my biggest take, knowing that I needed somebody else. You know what I mean? You only got 300 minutes on the telephone. So you ain't finna do your bid on the phone. So the man next to you, I gotta deal with him. That was my biggest take, though, networking and relationships.
That's real. How did it make you feel to see, like, how much the rap game had changed? Certain things that you stand on morally and principle-wise are now being acceptable and overlooked.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, right? Because, like, we come from a place of, like, ratting really ain't cool. And, like, now that I've been looking, I've been peeping the scene, it's like, damn, they gon' fuck with you and told on something. I don't get that. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, it fucks me up sometimes to even see it, but, like, I mean, if they like it, that's what they like. They gonna spend their money how they wanna spend their money. I can't knock them. I'm just gonna stay on this side and do what we do. But That shit's a real different ball game nowadays. You know, I'm gonna stay in my lane though. I ain't on none of that shit.
Would you say it's hard to make it out of Indianapolis?
It's real hard, bro. It's like a crab in a bucket city. You know, if it ain't your nigga who hot, they ain't gonna support you. If I don't know you, you know, shit like that, that's how it's been for a lot of people. So, you know, like, if the shit could be like a majority vote, like, we gonna fuck with Duke, 'cause Duke hot. Like, that's how shit happen. That's how Atlanta had they scene. That's how, you know, a lot of these other places had they scene. Like, all right, dude nice. He ain't got no bad name or nothing. We gonna try to help him. We gonna support him. Don't none of that shit go on where I'm from. Like, you could be the dopest nigga in the world. If they people don't like you, I ain't with that. They ain't gonna give you a chance. That's how the culture been for forever. But, you know, we gonna break the door down.
No, that's real.
We gonna break the door down.
What's the biggest thing you would say you would give back to the city?
Man, some structure. You know, some unity. You know, like if you one of the good men, like, oh, I might not like your guy. Okay, that's cool, but I fuck with you. So if he don't gotta die, he ain't gotta die. I don't want to backdoor your mans just because I fuck with you. So if I could get a city some structure, that's what I would want to give them, because it's a dope place. It can be, you know what I mean? Like, I've been around the world where I get to be around these other cities and things like that. And the guys, they tell me, like, bro, y'all different. Like, y'all ain't no pushovers, y'all ain't soft, y'all ain't nothing. Like, I would have never even thought it was like that out there. And, you know, like, men got good personality where I'm from. And we got our own lingo, got our own, a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't gonna get to the world unless the structure come.
Why do you feel it's important to change people's perception who came up in poverty?
Because a lot of folks don't get to see what poverty really is. A lot of folks don't really know what poverty is. Your poverty might be your poverty, my poverty might be my poverty. That's where perception comes from. Everybody got their own perception. Like, you might have had $100 for the week. We might have had $300 for the week. But technically, we both in poverty. But you don't understand mine though, because we got a couple more dollars than y'all got. So like, and then it's a whole nother realm of it. If one never knew nothing about poverty, he gonna deal with you in a different light. But if you come from poverty and you get to the money, now you know both sides. Now you know how to handle it. So you gotta damn near not necessarily go through something, but you gotta be able to be open-minded to understand some of this shit. You know what I mean? Because I grew up with a lot of niggas who ain't had shit. And we had a little more, you know what I'm saying? So I know how to treat them, because I actually seen Buddy, goddammit, getting on the bus, or holes in his shoes, or, you know what I'm saying? I got holes in my socks, and you know what I mean? The water might be cut off for us today. I might come in the house, goddammit, the lights is off. And I actually seen the ones who, goddammit, was having at a young age. So I know how to deal with people. A lot of folks don't have that, because they only know one thing and be closed-minded.
That's real.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can attest to this, but some of the smartest people in the world are in jail.
Yeah, they brilliant. You know why though? I'm gonna tell you why though. Ones in the world probably got maybe 30 minutes of downtime if you got something going on, even if you don't got nothing going on. A man in prison, bro, he got 24 hours a day if he ain't sleeping to research, read a book, learn from the man that's next to him who trying to teach him something, sit up and go through self-checks, you know what I'm saying, check yourself, and then on top of that, you ain't got nothing but time to think. So when you working that brain like that, that's when the intelligence be popping in. And out here in the world, you just on the go. You ain't thinking about reading no books, you ain't thinking about none of that shit. So, you know, and then on top of that shit, that's where all the masterminds is. That's why they call them what they call them. You know, all the niggas who started all the scams, all the niggas who was teaching, all this shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But that's just what they knew. They actually some
what they
smart
know.
niggas. They just came from a fucked up situation or
They
place.
intelligent, bro.
Yeah.
They intelligent, you know what I mean? And then to the point to where, like, it ain't even that they did a crime. They probably just went about it the wrong way and made it a crime. If that makes sense to you. Like, the government got ways to where they can say one thing is a crime, but in another instance, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's like with the marijuana trade. Yeah, I get it, you gotta have a licensing and things like that to sell it, but shit, like, I don't get the difference. So you got these people making billions of dollars because they selling it out of store, and you got these guys making $1 million, they selling it out of house. To me, what's the difference?
No, that's some real shit.
You know?
So what's some of the things you feel we can teach some of the kids across the hoods to show them that you ain't gonna end up like this? If you can just learn this, you can apply that hustle somewhere else.
Man, I would like to teach them about ego. Not caring about what somebody else think, or letting them know that the man next to you, just because he ain't your family or he might not be in the squad, shit, he still like you. Like, that was the biggest thing I learned about other cultures. If the Mexicans came in the pod, they ain't got no dude, they don't gotta be his family, they ain't gotta be in the same gang, cartel, nothing. He got a bag, he gonna eat, and he with them, and he got a seat. As long as he a good man. The niggas, they gonna eyeball you, ask where you from, they don't wanna fuck with you, they gonna see you starve, they ain't gonna give you a phone call or nothing. The whites, they the same way. We the only culture that don't stick together. If we stuck together and didn't care about what my mans thought about that or this or whatever, we'll win. If I could breed that into them, then that'd be the lick.
No, that's real. Let's talk about the project you just dropped not too long ago, $1 Million Scars.
Yeah, $1 Million Scars. Yeah, $1 Million Scars, man, that's my baby. That's my emotional support. That's like how I let it all out. Because I went through a lot of trauma in the last 5 years as far as losing my brother, my best friend, 2 of them, you know what I mean? Grandfather. My father which is my son's grandfather, you know what I mean? He kind of raised me because my pops really wasn't around, so this was the only male figure that I had. So I'm going through all these things, going through all these raw emotions, sitting in a cell, and like that shit really, it wear and tear on you, especially when you a family, close-knit type person. So $1 Million Scars is really how I articulate it, without saying, detail how I really feel or whatever, as opposed to me writing it down or putting it in a book. I got it in CD form. You know what I mean? Anytime I would go through my emotions, I'd get on that pad and write something down, and that's what came out.
What is it that you want listeners to take from that project?
Oh man, I want listeners to really learn me at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Learn like what I come from, what I go through, who I am, and try to take something from it. Like, it ain't always bad times. Good times do come too. Just be able to weather the storm throughout the mix of this shit. You know what I mean? Cause I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to wake up in the same spot for years and be like, God damn, this shit ain't over with. I finally got it over though. Like, I was just in government issues. Now nigga icy, you know what I mean? Like, it's a blessing, you know what I mean? It's a gift and a curse. I just want ones to know, like, if you down now, shit, it don't last forever. Like, as long as you want to do something about it, you can do something about it. Just stay righteous.
What else you working on besides music?
Music, man, besides that, man, I'm really rebuilding with my kids and my family, the ones I lost connection with. To be real with you, like, the business stuff is cool, but really, like, I'd rather get them ties back with the ones that I really had them with. You know, like that's what I've been on. Yep, I got a lot of kids, man, that need me. So I just been trying to rebuild with them.
Why do you feel it's important to have a solid support system?
Man, it's so important because a lot of people don't. You know what I mean? Like, it's important because a person can get way further with people than without people. It's like that African proverb, like, they say if you want to go far, go with many. If you want to go somewhere fast, go by yourself. Like, nah, I'm trying to go somewhere for real. I want this shit to be big. So, like, I need mines. You know what I mean? It's imperative that I come show you love so I know that you all right, and you know that you all right, because you know somebody like me love you, and we with you. You know somebody with you, yeah, you might be ready to go to battle by yourself, get this bag, but if you know somebody that's same as you gonna go twice as hard.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most important thing you learned over your time in the streets, your time in prison, and your time free as a reform man?
I can say most important thing, everything gonna be all right. Don't panic. Never let them see you sweat. Over time, man, love gonna conquer hate. That's what I really take to now. Like, I ain't forcing shit on nobody, no situation, nothing. Like, as long as I got the patience, I know I can work it out.
That's real.
That's one of the biggest things.
Any last words and shoutouts?
Man, you know, shout out to the whole squad, man, RSF and them, man. It's a new money thing. Shout out to Dirty Club Bastard. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Appreciate you,
The
brother.
city, you know, Nap. God damn it, we back. Go stream that $1 Million Scars. It's out. You know, and hold it down. Shout out to all the guys, man, behind the bar. You know, Feds, 028, State. You know who you is. You know, I ain't finna say a whole lot of names, but I love y'all.
Real spill. Dev Demetries, we appreciate having you on the porch with us today, gang.
I appreciate you, family.
Gang.
Yeah.
That's just how it is when you murder the streets. Her body with you, but the mind with me. You wanna lead and find a tree, now I'm back on the street, she finding me. Yeah.